So I'm going to let you go a little early, as I just said. But before I do, I'm just going to introduce some general concepts for SA3. Tell you what the assignment is going to be about and how it's going to work. And then introduce the first course text that you will have on the topic for SA3. All right, I haven't made the sign-up sheet for discussion leader yet, which I will do, and then I will post it. I'll send it out to you guys. I'll make it available to you in a Canvas announcement. All right, so you can sign up to lead discussion of one of the 4 assigned readings that we're gonna have for SA3. I'm only gonna give you 4 assigned readings. 1 assigned film, that's what this is, and 4 articles that are assigned to you. Because most of the rest of the materials that you will need to develop your SA3 research project will come from your own research. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then I'm just going to talk about it generally, and I'm going to get into a lot more detail about it later on. Okay, next week, in the next few weeks. Okay, but for right now, let me just explain this project to you. Here's the assignment sheet right here that I was working on all last night. I worked on this, and I worked on reorganizing the entirety of modules 6 and 7 last night. It was a lot because we're like this in Zoom. I have to do that. I have to change everything practically. Okay, so what I've done is I've gotten rid of the separate research paper for this class, which is what I usually assign. Okay, usually in this class, the course outline that Hartnell College gives me requires a certain amount of writing from you guys. You know, but because we're like this, I've said, screw that. Sorry, this is being recorded. Don't tell anybody that I told Hartnell College to screw that. Okay, and I've combined the research paper into SA3. Okay, so now you have 3 essays and you have a final exam as formal writing assignments in this class, and no big research paper that's separate. Okay, but what I did to SA3 was I made it longer, a little bit longer. All right, it used to be a 4 to 5 page assignment. Now it's a 6 to 8 page one. And I've asked you to do more research than I had previously for this assignment. Usually for the essay assignments, as you guys know already from having done 1 and 2, I give you most of the materials that you're supposed to work with. And then I ask you to find one on your own. Let's see, someone typed at me. Yes, Jose, you may speak to me after class. Absolutely. Okay. And if as I'm ending the class, it looks like I'm going to close up Zoom, okay, give me a heads up or remind me. And then if I end the class without talking to you because I just forgot, because I just started drinking coffee and I haven't had anything to eat yet. Okay, just email me and I'll send you a link to an individual Zoom meeting. Okay, Jose, does that make sense? If I forget and I end the class, email me right away and I'll see that, and then I'll send you an individual link. Okay, all right, cool. All righty. So that's what I've done here for this class, is I've combined the research paper with SA3 and made some changes to SA3 to accommodate that, so that it's more of a research project. And I changed the name. It's called a research project now. Oh, I didn't change it in here. I have to change that. Okay, but it's going to be about race. Yes, we have to talk about it. We have to, you guys. Our society is broken on this issue. We're not doing well with race by just pretending like it's not a thing and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have material effects. It does. It has serious material effects for the lives of people. There's a lot to write about it. There is. And once again, I'm going to give you some specific things to focus on. Look at these. Okay. Racial discrimination in employment is a thing still. Okay. Discrimination in health and welfare. Guys, with coronavirus, have you heard that more people of color are dying from this disease? Okay, that's because of racial inequalities in our society, inequities in our society. Every human being should have equal access to health care, preventative health care. Every human being in our society should be able to be healthy, right? And they're not, okay? Because of things like implicit bias. Do I mention that up here? I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Implicit bias, which we're going to talk about as an element, okay, in the ways in which we as humans process race in our society. We have implicit bias about it. Implicit means you're not aware that you have it, okay? And it's important to bring that into conscious awareness because we act on our implicit biases in ways that hurt other people. And we all have them, all right? Some people like to say, I'm not racist, right? And they may like to think of themselves that way, right? And that may be true if we get into an explicit definition of racism, but everybody has implicit bias, which means they discriminate, and they discriminate on the basis of race. We're going to talk about that, okay? Racial profiling is a thing that happens mostly to Black and brown men in our society, okay? Different people are profiled on the basis of their race, but this is mostly a problem for Black and brown men in our society. And it often leads to police brutality. Okay, this is a reference to Black Lives Matter, which is something that I hope by now you are all familiar with. When I first started talking about this, people didn't know what this was. All right, but these issues are blowing up. Police brutality and the murder, right, of men of color in our society, primarily. Women of color too, but mostly it's men because of people's implicit bias about them. Okay, people are scared of Black and brown men in our society. Non-Black and brown men are scared of Black and brown men in our society. I shouldn't say people, all right? But they have implicit bias about that. And then they act more defensively against them because they perceive them as a greater threat to their own safety. And police officers are just human beings, and they have implicit bias too. Okay, but they don't treat Black and brown men the same way that they treat non-Black and brown men. They treat white people differently than they treat people of color. They treat women differently than they treat men, and especially men of color. Do you guys agree with that assertion that I'm making? Anybody want to argue with me about that? Thank you, Ureli. This used to be something I had to do a lot more defending of because people thought that, you know, well, police officers, there's just a few bad apples, but most of them are fair-minded people. And I'm sure they like to think of themselves that way, but they all have implicit bias. So I'm not one of these ACAB people. Do you guys know what that means? ACAB, it's an acronym. Jack, you don't know? Does anybody know what ACAB, A-C-A-B? You've probably seen it graffitied in a lot of places lately because of the protests against the very, very clear murder of George Floyd. Are you familiar with that event, that thing that happened? Yeah, okay, thank you, Jack. Of course, yes, thank you. Everybody is. But guys, when I first started talking about this stuff, people didn't know that this stuff was happening to Black men in our society, right? But because of social media, people are much more aware of it now. And because everybody has a camera on their phone. Those two things together, the camera phone and social media have increased general awareness about these issues that people of color face in our society. And that man was murdered, all right? They killed him. That cop looked directly at the camera. He knew what he was doing, okay? That shouldn't be controversial. Everybody can just watch that video and see for themselves. All right. So white nationalism and supremacy also used to be more obscure. Oh my God, you guys. You guys, you have to fix it. You have to fix our society. I'm old. I've been doing this a long time. I've been screaming into the void for a long, long time. Okay, it's up to you now. I'm doing everything I can still. I haven't given up. I'm still out here doing it, but you guys gotta get in there and do it too, if you haven't already. And if you have already, do more. All right, we have to fix this. All right, so people are much more aware of this now. Do you guys know what this is? White nationalism and supremacy? People thought this was gone, this was over. And it's not. It's not over. Who knows what this is? It still exists, yes, Hireli. And it is having a resurgence. These groups are growing. So social media is good in ways, and it's bad in ways. You know, it has positive and negative effects in our society. And one of the negative effects in our society is that it has allowed for these people to spread their message farther and wider, and to get more people to think the way they think. All right, but we're going to talk about white nationalism / supremacy. These are different but related concepts. And we're going to talk about race and immigration. Okay, because not all immigrants are treated the same, you guys. Did you know that? Did you guys know that? That not all immigrants are treated the same? Give me a thumbs up if you know that. Sorry, am I yelling? This is upsetting. Thank you, Ureli. Do the rest of you know that not all immigrants are treated the same?
Some have more benefits than others.
Yes, some are treated in a more welcoming manner than others. You guys, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that if there are a bunch of white refugees from Canada trying to come into our country, that they would take those people's little babies away from them? You guys think? No, 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 no. Everyone's typing no. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, Donald Trump called African countries shitholes, right? He said, can we get some more people from Norway, please? What's the difference between Nigeria or Somalia and Norway, you guys? What's the difference? Hair color, thank you, yes. Norwegians are white. Africans are black. Because he's orange. He wants all orange. Oh, he only wants orange people. Okay, so got white people. Are there any white people in this meeting? Or people with pale complexions? All right. According to Ureli, if Donald Trump gets his way, we're all going to have to go to a tanning booth, right? Or put bronzer on our faces so that we can be orange like him. Okay, Gabriel says rich. Good. That's true, Gabriel. In all fairness to Donald Trump, right? He wants people that are already wealthy and successful, right? And their argument is that they don't want immigrants that are going to be a drain on our resources. But that's just a facade, right? That's a front that they're putting up. Okay, what they really care about is the race of these people. They wouldn't want poor white people either. Although they would be more positively disposed towards white people than poor white people than brown people. And you can see that right now in our country. Oh, my neck. Okay. Systemic racism in education, you guys. All right. There are inequities built into our educational system at every level. All right. The school to prison pipeline. Okay, we're going to talk about that in class. Affirmative action, that's higher education. This is elementary and high school, right? This is college. We're going to talk about these things for this project. And then you guys are going to do some research of your own on it. You're going to read some of the things that I give you and watch this documentary. And then you're going to do your own research. Okay, and then there are all these assignments that go with this assignment. All right, so that's a quick introduction to this. The things that you find on your own for this project, you're going to write little reports on. And that's later. Okay, that's not this week, and I don't think next week, but I think the week after that. Yeah, the week after that, you're going to have source reports. And those are reports, little short one-page reports that you're going to write on the sources that you find for this project on a specific topic that you have chosen after we've discussed the general concepts that relate to these issues. All right, does that make sense, you guys? Any questions about anything I just talked about? No? All righty. Let me show you this documentary. Let me show the assignment for it. Did I link it in here? No, I didn't. That's my bad. Okay, I should have. It's right here. It's this one, but I didn't make a link for myself. So now I have to go looking for it. Bear with me. I have to open another tab here. I don't want to lose my tabs that are already open. Move my chat over here. This is a shell that I made, you guys, for all of Hartnell College. This is just an aside, but I made this shell for other teachers because this is what I worked on as a graduate student. I worked on this stuff as a graduate student, and I've been teaching this stuff my whole time as a teacher for the last 20 years. But these are things that I've made for other faculty so that they understand these issues. All right, and they need to be understood so that we at Hartnell College can address the problems that we have with inequities in our educational system. All righty, and to teach you guys to go out there and fix it. You have to fix it. You have to not let this continue in your lives and in your work. Okay, but anyway, that's just an aside. What was I doing? I forgot now. Oh my gosh, I need food. What was I doing, you guys? Somebody remind me what I was going to do. I'm serious, I forgot what I was doing. I need more sleep and food. Does anybody remember what I was going to do? Let me go back here. Oh, okay, I remember. I had to retrace my steps. I was going to look at this. All righty. Yes, thank you, Ashley. I was going to look at 6.2, the documentary. Thank you, Wendy. All righty, here we go. This is it. This is the assignment for this documentary. So there's the documentary. You can just watch it from here. You can make it bigger, as per usual. All right, and it's about an hour long. It's not that bad. It's about an hour long. You need to watch the whole thing. Okay, and then you need to download these questions. You should probably download these first. Okay, download these questions first and have them beside you. All right, because they pertain to this documentary. And there's lots and lots and lots here. Lots of questions. You don't need to answer them all. You just need to pick 3 or 4. Pick 3 or 4 that you think are interesting. So you probably want to look at this first, right? And identify some that are interesting so that when you're watching the documentary, it clicks for you, that these are the questions you want to answer. That would be my strategy for doing this. You can do it any way you want, all right? But the assignment is to watch this documentary and then answer 3 or 4 questions about it. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions in chat or spoken questions from you guys about this assignment? Thank you, Ashley, for responding. All righty. Okay, let me look at what else I want to talk to you about. Okay, I said I'm going to put up a discussion leader a chance for you guys to sign up. But if not enough people sign up, I'll just give you guys a different assignment to do, okay? I don't think it's feasible for me to, when we're like this, to try and make people be a discussion leader. So I've given up on that. All right, but if you want to do it and earn those points as extra credit, you can. And then these are the articles that you guys need to answer questions about. Read and answer questions and annotate them. I'll ask you to submit these with your final draft of this project. Okay, and then this is the stuff we're going to talk about next week. All right, and there are assignments in Canvas for both of these, and then a quiz on them. All righty, you guys, let me stop sharing right now so I can see you better. You'll do it? Okay, okay, Jose. You'll do the discussion leader? Okay, good, thank you. I appreciate that. And then Jose, if more people do it, at least 2 more people do it, then it'll go ahead. If they don't, I don't want you to do it by yourself. That doesn't make sense. Okay? All righty. Any questions about anything I've talked about so far in this meeting? Itzel said she'll do it good. Yay, team. Oh, you're kidding. Okay. See, I can't see you, so I didn't get the joke. And I can't see her react to you volunteering her to do something. I'm sure she appreciates that. All righty. Any questions, you guys? It's pretty straightforward, right? Okay. Go ahead.
I haven't checked the assignment yet, but for one of the requirements, do we have to turn in the annotated text?
Not yet. But at the end of this whole process for the essay research 3 research project, I will ask you. Sorry?
Essay 2.
I couldn't make that out, Ureli.
For essay 2?
Oh, for essay 2, yes. Let's take a look at that together. For essay 2, yes, I've asked you to submit. And you guys, I'm sorry there's so many pictures. I've been trying to get a better way for you guys to annotate electronically so that you don't have to upload all of those pictures. But I haven't been able to work it out. There's this program called Hypothesis, which allows students to annotate online and to annotate collaboratively, multiple people working on one document, which is cool, but it costs money. And so we can't get that yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on getting that for the college, making the college pay for it so that you guys can have it. But it won't help us now, I'm sorry. But I want to see your annotations. So let me show you the Essay 2 assignment. Here it is, final draft submission requirements. Okay. Right here, I want you to submit your annotated articles. Right, and if you have a scanner or if you have a scanning app on your phone, okay, you can scan them or you can just take the images and upload the JPEGs of those images of your annotations. Or if you annotated them digitally, you can copy these things into Google Docs. As I talked about before with Essay 1, there are multiple ways for you to annotate digitally. If you have Word on your computer, you can just mark them up in Word. Or you can import them into Google Docs and mark them up that way using the Google Docs tools for commenting. And then if you do that, you need to download them as Word documents because you can't upload multiple Google files to a single Canvas assignment. I don't know why. All righty, but thanks for that question, Ureli. Are there any others about Essay 2, the final draft requirements? No? All righty then. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Okay, nice and early, so you guys can work on your essay. Okay, yeah, oh, and I'm gonna talk to Jose after I let everybody else go. So I'll keep them. I remembered Jose, aren't you proud of me? I am, I'm proud of me. More coffee. Thank you. Alrighty then, you guys. The rest of you can go ahead and take off. And get a hold of me if you run into any trouble.